Whether we know it or not, we accidentally brainwash ourselves every single day to make healthy habits either easier or harder. The real question is, are you brainwashing yourself for good or bad? What's good, Simple Achievers? Steve Hicks here, online coach for Simple Success Fitness. And today I have a brain hack that is going to brainwash you in a way that makes healthy habits easier than ever to maintain. Now, I originally came up with this and talked about this a little bit last week on my Facebook page, where I do a daily walk and talk during lunchtime. If you're not following me over there, I do have a link down in the description box so you can watch that. It's a live video every weekday at lunchtime where we just kind of talk about different fitness topics in a really short form media. But I wanted to expand on that video. It got a lot of traction. A lot of people thought it had some good ideas. And I want to expand on that and give some action steps you can use to actually brainwash yourself into making health and fitness easy, effortless, and really kind of outside your own thought process. So before I give you this powerful brain hack, I want you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't so you don't miss out on any more great fitness content. And together, you and I can live a healthier, happier life by using tips like this brain hack or other stuff on the channel. Make sure to watch some things if you haven't seen them already. But today I want to talk about this concept of brainwashing yourself. And I first came up with this realization a couple weeks ago when I was talking to my sister about lunches. Because I always make a sandwich for lunch. And I love that sandwich. Like, I put some effort into it. I craft it. It is an artisan sandwich. It's delicious. And my sister was talking about it, and she's like, yeah, I've seen you make sandwiches, and they look amazing, but man, it just looks like a lot of effort, and it takes you some time. And it does. Making a really good sandwich, slicing all the vegetables, putting it on there so it's all evenly spaced and stuff, probably takes me about 10 minutes to make a single sandwich. I know in a shop it would be much faster because they have everything pre-sliced, but in the moment I have to do that. It just takes some time. And when she said that, her daughter, my niece, from the other room just shouted in, "Yeah, but Uncle's sandwiches are delicious." And that's when I realized that I was giving an unusual amount of effort into something without realizing it, because I was constantly rewarding myself with delicious sandwiches. The reward of the delicious sandwich had brainwashed me into a positive habit that I maintained without thought, without concern, and almost without effort. And I started to use this and realize that we always accidentally brainwash ourselves. A lot of people have some habits where they have some really quick, easy processed food, pre-made lunches that they just microwave, and they've rewarded themselves with the ease and the comfort and the convenience. And that reward has allowed them to continue to eat food that most of the time we acknowledge doesn't even taste that great. It's just convenient. It's a reward of convenience. And we brainwash ourselves either for positive habits, making whole foods, healthy meals, or for convenient foods. We brainwash ourselves whether it's healthy or unhealthy. There's some reward there that we we And we can use this with other stuff. I mean, if we think about this, this is what they teach us about classical conditioning. We see the same thing when we train new dogs to do tricks, right? When you have a new dog and you're trying to teach the dog its name, you give it a treat every time it responds to its name so that it knows and it thinks that that name is a good, happy thing to pay attention to, and it seeks out its own name to get that reward. But it's not just rewards that we can brainwash ourselves with. And this isn't something that I really got into on the video, on the walk and talk last week, but it's not just rewards. There are also punishments, right? The two big movers between human decisions is you're either running towards pleasure or you're running away from pain. And honestly, exercise often gets marketed and it feels like punishment, right? We hear this expression, no pain, no gain. That just makes exercise a punishment. That makes workouts miserable. That makes it a pain that we try to avoid, right? So we now are brainwashed into believing that exercise is going to cause us misery, and that has brainwashed us to avoid exercise, right? Punishments can be really bad for us. And we get this with diets too, right? Diets, if you've been on a diet, you know it feels like punishment. It's really restrictive. No, you can't have carbs. No, you can't have sugars. No, you can't have fat. How dare you try to eat out? Like, you can't do that. They get really restrictive and it feels like punishment. They're fear-based. Diets are fear-based. Like, I can't have carbs, I'll get fat. I can't have salt, I'll have a heart attack. Don't get that fat away from me. I don't want to gain weight. It's really fear-based, and that living in fear feels like punishment. Or maybe they're shame-based, right? Oh, you had 3 cookies? Pfft, no self-control. How dare you? Oh, how dare you go out 3 nights a week and hang out with your friends? For shame. Right? Shame, fear, and restrictions make diets punishment that we are brainwashing ourselves and hacking ourselves to avoid. So it's not just the rewards of the delicious sandwich. It can be the avoiding punishment too, that forces us into habits subconsciously, outside our own thought process, that we just naturally gravitate to or away from stuff based on this reward punishment continuum. But let me give you a truth. Let me give you a secret, and let me give you permission. The reality is that a healthy habit that feels like punishment, it's not healthy. I'll say that again. If a habit feels like punishment, it is not healthy for you. And it doesn't matter what they call it, whether they repurpose healthy words like exercise or fitness or nutrition or wellness. If it is punishment, it is not healthy for you. It's not healthy emotionally, and it's certainly not going to be healthy physically. What is healthy, though, are the things that fill us up, that give us rewards, that give us satisfaction. These are the things that we want to chase. So what we want to do to give ourselves a mind hack, to give ourselves brainwashing so that we subconsciously seek out healthy habits, habits that serve us and move us forward and allow us to live a life filled with vitality, is 3 steps. The first step, we have to break the punishment, right? If you're stuck thinking that exercise is no pain, no gain, or if you're thinking that diets have to be these regretful things, if you're stuck in punishment, we have to break that. And there's two ways we can break punishment, right? One is just talking about the level of exposure. There are a lot of people that are fitness enthusiasts and fitness hobbyists that love fitness and just salivate thinking about it. And they can do some pretty extreme stuff without feeling like punishment. Last weekend, I went on a steep hike. It was 12 miles up a mountain. It was up Micah Peak in Washington State, and it was grueling. It was a 2,600 foot elevation climb, and took 4 hours. It was tough. For most people, I understand, doing that would be miserable. I've been building up to that, so it feels like an accomplishment, and it feels like a reward for me. But if you're at a point where that's a misery, don't do that. Take a walk around the park instead. Enjoy the sunshine. Listen to the birds call. Do something flat and easy. Something that's a reward. Something that's satisfying. Adjust the level to avoid punishment. The other thing is perspective, right? A lot of times we go into things with the wrong perspectives. We look at nutrition as if it's a way to punish the body, as if it's a way to, like, we're not good enough, right? People go into weight loss journeys focusing on trying to get rid of themselves, that they're not good enough, that they're too much, that they need to be less of themselves, right? But if we go into a weight loss journey and we think about how lean we're going to become, how much stronger we're going to become, how much more physically capable we're going to become, this perspective, trying to be more, trying to gain, trying to trying to be better, this is stuff that adds value. This is stuff that avoids punishment and focuses on rewards. So breaking punishments is the first step into this ultimate brain hack, this mind hack, brainwashing yourself into subconsciously doing healthy habits. The second step is to make sure you're adding value. We talked about this a little bit with the breaking punishments, but we want to make sure that the healthy habits we adopt are actually healthy, that they're actually doing something good for us, right? It's not enough to punish ourselves. It's not enough to do things that sound healthy for the sake of healthiness, because no one really cares about that. That's not exciting. What we want to do is we want to do healthy habits that add value to our lives, right? Why do I want to take 10,000 steps a day? Well, when you walk more regularly, you improve your energy regulation. You burn more calories, which allow you to maintain a healthy weight and a healthy waistline. You decrease fat around your organs so that your organ function is more optimal. You get better circulation so that you have a healthier heart. Like, that's good reasons to take 10,000 steps a day, right? Why would you exercise, right? Exercise just for the sake of exercise doesn't make sense to people. But if you're exercising to improve your cardiovascular fitness so that you're able to enjoy weekends with your friends and family out in the wild, or able to, do that Micah Peak thing that other people just don't get to experience the city at that level. That's amazing to me. Losing weight, right? We talked about how people often try to shed away. But what it can be is it can be a magnification of the glory that you deserve in your own life, right? We want to add value. How are these healthy habits adding value for yourself? And this might take a couple minutes to really personally assess and discover. But after you break punishment, you have to choose habits that add value. And then finally, the third thing, we talked about this at the very beginning and how I was doing this accidentally. But we want to build rewards. And we want to reward ourselves often, right? We talked about the flavor of the sandwich. The flavor of good, quality, healthy cooked foods rewards me and encourages me to put out more effort in the future so that my food can be even more delicious, even more rewarding. And when I'm intentional about how I cook, it's even more fulfilling and more satisfying to the body, and it serves me better with a healthier habit. We can also talk about things that you just enjoy, right? We talked about Micah Peak and how I went hiking up this mountain. For some people, that's not enjoyable. For me, what that's been is a series of progressions where I get to enjoy being able to do something more, right? I didn't start there. As you've probably known if you've followed the channel for a while, last year I had a catastrophic knee injury. My tibia was actually pulling apart, and now I have a steel rod in my knee, and 12 months ago I could not walk. Now I'm climbing a mountain. That fulfills me. That gives me positive self-talk. That is a great reward that I get to do. And then you can also give yourself a reward after every workout session, right? In the morning, as part of my wake-up routine, I'll typically do a 15 to 20-minute yoga routine. And the first time I do downward dog, I note, oh man, I'm feeling stiff this morning. But the last time I do downward dog, that pose, I can notice that the hips move a little bit more. My hamstrings can stretch more. I'm more pitched. I'm in more triangle shape. I'm doing better. I feel great. I'm mobile. I'm loose. I feel awesome, right? At the end of each yoga session, I'm able to reward myself with that realization of how good I feel. And then finally, we talked about this a little bit, but it also can change the way you view yourself. Last year, I couldn't walk, and now I can conquer a mountain. That tells me that I've done some tremendous things, and it builds me up. I'm not a person that just lets life happen to me. I find what I want, and I take that and I conquer challenges. It makes me feel awesome. I feel awesome, and I talk awesome things about myself. I reward myself with my own self-talk through my exercises and through my habits. So that now hiking's a little addictive. It's a proof that I conquer a challenge, and so I seek it out more. Right? Subconsciously, I want to go and partake in these activities because I've talked positively about myself so much through them and after them and felt so much enjoyment. I've had a reward. When you build a reward, you subconsciously chase that habit again. So those 3 steps, breaking the punishment, finding habits that add value, and then finally rewarding yourself regularly and often at the end of those habits, is a way to kind of mind hack yourself. It brainwashes you into adoring these healthy habits and seeking these healthy habits out and really making it almost effortless and subconscious and on autopilot so that your healthy habits are really, really easy to maintain. So what I want you to do is think about this. What healthy habits do you want to adopt? Is there a punishment currently associated with that healthy habit that you need to break? How does that healthy habit add value to your life? How does it add vitality to your life? And then finally, as you go through it, what kind of rewards is that healthy habit going to give you? Use those 3 steps and you can mind hack yourself and brainwash yourself into subconsciously being the healthiest you have ever been. And as you put that to use, make sure you come back, like this video, let YouTube know that this video helped impact your life and move you forward to a healthier, happier life. So YouTube will share with other people who need to mind hack themselves and brainwash themselves into subconscious habits. And make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more great tips like this one. And together, you and I can live a healthier, happier life.